How are you guys doing? Today is Thursday, January 7th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to do an elite individual profile on Jan Oblak, the starting goalie for Atletico Madrid, who today is now 28 years old and as right now sitting as the goalkeeper for the best team in Spain right now. For this individual profile, I'm just going to give a little bit of context and my justification as for why this dude who is now turning 28 should be recognized as one of the most elite goalkeepers in the game. Of course, I'm going to go through every single season in his career, but first, going into it, Jan Oblak is he's a very valuable goalie that makes Atletico Madrid that gives Atletico Madrid the opportunity to compete at such a high level every single time. I would like to say it's other players, but their most important player is Jan Oblak. You could argue that he's the best goalie in the world, and you're never going to get to see him on the world stage because he plays for Slovenia, and they're not going to make it far in the Euro Championships. But the best place you can really see him shine is for Atletico Madrid, and he has been playing incredibly well. So if you don't know who he is, he's from Scotia Loka in Slovenia. I might have just completely butchered that pronunciation. He would get a start at Olimpija Ljubljana in 2009-2010 in his age 17 season. And then at age 18, he was moved to Benfica. And then at Benfica, for the first few seasons, he was put on loan. His first loan, for his first loan, he was sent to Beira Mar, then Olanis on a loan, then União de Leiria is the first place that he actually scored. He played 16 games, and in this season, he would finish with 16 starts. He'd allowed 29 goals, and in this season, he'd finish with 4 clean sheets. At 18 years old in the Portuguese league, so I mean, this guy was doing his best. He was trying his best to put it all together. In 2012, he went on to win the best young player of the year. And then in 2012-2013, he would go on loan to Rio Ave, which is another Portuguese team. And this time, he would help them finish 6th in the Portuguese league after starting in 28 matches. He conceded 40 goals in those 28 matches, and he had 6 clean sheets. But he was able to help that team finish 6th in the Portuguese league. So, of course, he was moving up. And for the second year in a row, he would win the Young Player of the Year for Portugal. And then going into his next year is the year he finally got to play at Benfica. So he got to play at Benfica in 2013-2014 in his age 20 season. He would help them finish first in the league. He would start in 16 matches. He'd only allow 5 goals in that season. He finished with 11 clean sheets. So in the 5 games that he allowed goals, he only allowed 1 goal. In the other games, there were clean sheets, which is an incredible feat, especially for someone at 21 years old. And then he was able to help them win the Portuguese Championship. They won the Portuguese Cup. And they won they also won they won 2 different cups within Portugal. They were the Europa League runner-up. They were able to get a lot of wins, or they were able to be a very, very successful team with Jan Oblak at the helm. That was Jan Oblak's tryout, basically, which would lead him to starting for Atletico Madrid in his age 21 season in 2014-15. And in this season, he would only start 11 matches. The last time he would do so in a full season, for a long time. In his age 21 season, in his 11 games that he would start, he would only allow 6 goals, and he'd finish with 7 clean sheets on the season. And in this season, Atletico Madrid would go on to finish 3rd in La Liga. And also in 2014-15, he was able to win the Footballer of the Year in 2015. He was able to put together a very solid resume at this point in his career. And then leaping into his 2015 season, in his 2014-2015 season, Jan Oblak would go on to start 38 matches for Atletico Madrid, along with playing for Slovenia internationally. And in this season, he would go on to allow 18 goals in 38 matchups and help Atletico Madrid finish third in La Liga. And at the same time, he'd finish with 24 clean sheets, which is the most clean sheets that he'd ever have in a calendar year. And at the same time, he was able to help Atletico Madrid finish runners-up in Champions League as he finished with 8 clean sheets and only allowed 8 goals in 13 matchups. He finished with 35 clean sheets on a year, which would probably go down as his most elite season as a goalie up until now. But of course, but I mean, he's still playing at such an incredible level right now. But Jan Oblak in 2015, 2016, in his age 22 season was a beast and a monster that not a lot of people wanted to deal with. And leading into his age 23 season in 2016 and 17, he would play 30 matches in La Liga, and he would only allow 20 goals in this season, which is pretty. He would allow 21 goals in this season, and he'd finish with 15 clean sheets on the season. And also in Champions League, he'd only allow 7 goals in 11 matches played, with 6 clean sheets in a season where Atletico Madrid would finish, and they'd lose in the semifinals. And this is when Antoine Griezmann was he was the leading scorer for the 3rd year in a row for Atletico. But Jan Oblak was a big part of the reason that they're there. His clean sheets and just him holding it down, especially for when he was doing it at such a young age. It kind of just it sheds light to how great and talented he is as a player. So going into 2017, 2018, because this is of course a Europa League. This is a Europa League season. This is the season where Atletico Madrid, they got relegated to Europa League, even though Jan Oblak gave up 3 goals all Champions League. But this is also a season where, so in 2016, or 2017, 2018, in his age 24 season, he would play 37 matches. Atletico Madrid would finish 2nd in the league. He would finish with 22 clean sheets, which is the second most he'd have in a season, second to his age 22 season. And after getting relegated to Europa League, he would finish with 4 clean sheets, as he only conceded 2 goals in 6 Europa League matchups, as he would actually help Atletico Madrid go on and win Europa League in 2017, 2018. Very big win for them. I think that's probably the biggest international trophy Jan Oblak has won to him. And that's still, in Europa League, is a very, very impressive, it's a very impressive tournament to win. Even though it's not Champions League, Europa League is a very big continental title at the very end of the year to win. So Jan Oblak was a very big part in picking that up. So going into his age 25 season, which is the 2018-2019 season, he was able to help Atletico Madrid finish 2nd in La Liga, as he started 37 matches, only allowed 27 goals, and finished with 20 clean sheets. This is the 3rd time in his career that he's allowed 20, that he finished with 20 clean sheets on the season. His 3rd in 4 years, and then the 4th year he had 15. So that's still an incredible amount. And also looking out into how they did with Champions League, he allowed 9 goals in 8 matches in Champions League. The first time he allowed more goals than matches played in an entire Champions League circuit. He finished with 25 clean sheets on the year, he finished with a clean sheet as well in the International Champions Cup. And with this, Atletico Madrid was also able to go on and win the UEFA Super Cup for 2018, following their Europa League win, which to show you how big this season was and how dominant Jan Oblak was, especially at this block in his career. So, and this moves into 2019-2020, which ended after the quarantine, this being his age 26 season. Jan Oblak would help Atletico Madrid finish 3rd in La Liga, and he would allow 27 goals in those 38 games, finishing with 17 clean sheets. The 5th season in a row, he had at least 15 to his name, he was still continuing to show the rest of Spain and the rest of the world why he's one of the best. He would also play in UEFA Euro qualifiers, as in those games he would concede 11 goals in 10 games with 3 clean sheets, and in Champions League he would concede 8 goals in 9 matches, with 4 of those 9 matches ending in clean sheets for him. But with these wins, with all this, Jan Oblak was able to help the team finish runner-up in the Supercopa de España. Even though they weren't able to win a lot, they were still able to finish 3rd in La Liga. as they were dealing with Antoine Griezmann transferring to FC Barcelona through the first year. But that transition into this current year. This current year in 2019, 2020, where Jan Oblak started the season 27 and now is officially 28. Atletico Madrid is currently sitting at the top of the table in La Liga. They are 2 points ahead of second place Real Madrid and Barcelona, as they still have 2 more games left to play. They have 2 games in hand, so they have a bigger advantage than it currently seems as of right now. Their next matchup is at home against Sevilla, and this is a team that's also competing in the Champions League as well. So you're going to see Jan Oblak compete in La Liga and in Champions League this year, not to mention the beginning of the 2021-2012 season. So he has a lot going on from this year. And speaking of what he's doing this year, for Atletico Madrid, he's right now, in addition to leading them to the best spot in the league, in the 15 matches that he's played, he's only allowed 6 goals, and right now he has 10 clean sheets through 15 games, which is an incredibly historic pace. This might go down as his best season yet. And in Champions League this season, he would go on. He has 2 clean sheets in 6 games. I mean, he played in the same group against Bayern Munich, so I mean that's a very tough feat to do. He had 2 clean sheets in the other 4 games where he didn't play Bayern. And then in UEFA Nations League, he hasn't allowed a single goal in 5 matchups. He's finished with 5 clean sheets. So you could argue that Jan Oblak is playing his best soccer to date, even though he's given up 8 goals in 6 matches played in Champions League. And as of right now, as it stands, he is a 28-year-old goalie who is arguably at the top of his at the best of his abilities, playing in the same league as Real Madrid and Barcelona, and he's helping Atletico Madrid pretty convincingly because he's only conceded 6 goals in the 15 matches that he played. That should be the argument itself as to how elite Jan Oblak is as a goalie, is sitting out at Atletico Madrid. They're definitely a dangerous team moving forward, and I think going through 2021, Jan Oblak is definitely a player that you should stop and watch. I mean, he is the Slovenian Wall, and right now he currently wears number 13 for Atletico Madrid. So if you ever get a chance to watch him, because he is probably he's a once in a while talent. It's very rare that you can see people move at 6'2" that move with such agility and such quickness and have the reaction time and have the eye speed of a player such as Jan Oblak. And I want to thank you once again for listening to all 12 minutes of my piece. Today is Jan Oblak's 28th birthday, so of course, happy birthday to him. I want to thank everyone once again for listening to this piece. And following this, I'm going to do a piece on Eden Hazard, the forward for Real Madrid, or the Belgian forward for Real Madrid, who turns 30 today. But with that said, thank you once again for listening to my piece, and I'll catch you with an episode after this one. Peace out.